Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Well, that was a rough game for the Knicks tonight. Rough one. And it ended ugly. Ended really ugly, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. That's the jig. The Knicks were at home tonight versus the Memphis Grizzlies as Ja Morant makes his debut at Madison Square Garden, ladies and gentlemen. Score tied 2-2, now 4-3. The Knicks were sloppy all night long, though. As you see, a nice play right there is Elfrid Payton finds Reggie Bullock going down the lane. 7-4 Knicks early on in the game. That guy, Dillon Brooks, he killed the Knicks in the first half of this game, ladies and gentlemen. He had 19 points in the first half of the game. Jay Crowder, remember this guy's name, please. You'll find out towards the end. If you didn't get to watch the game, you'll find out now as Jay Crowder knocks down that three. Marcus Morris, he pulls and jacks a three, knocks that one in. But he took bad shots all night in my estimation, ladies and gentlemen. Ja Morant, this kid, something special. He knocks that one in, the little floater in the lane, to put the Memphis Grizzlies up 13-12. Now it's 16-12. Valanciunas, you know, his name, that guy. He got the ball out. 21-18. Memphis is up. Mitch Robinson with the steal. Elfrid Payton gets it back for the alley-oop, and that might be one of the plays of the week. Well, it's definitely going to be a nomination, a candidate for the play of the week. Probably is going to win the play of the week for the New York Knicks. You know, that show that I do, Knicks Weekly. Dennis Smith Jr. finds Julius Randle. He comes down the lane. That might be another one. That's the way we want to see Julius Randle go, ladies and gentlemen. We want to see him on the break just like that. But the Memphis Grizzlies, they just keep coming. Tyus Jones knocks down a three right there. They just keep coming at you, ladies and gentlemen. They got a lot of weapons, and a lot of those weapons are made possible by Ja Morant, the way that he's able to get the ball around and be a threat on the floor. It's Kevin Knox. He pulls a three. He knocks it in. Kevin Knox on the night, he had 8 points, 3 for 7 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3. Memphis Grizzlies, bang, they knocked down another three. 35-32. The Knicks and the Grizzlies actually ended the first quarter tied at 32. The Memphis Grizzlies start to really take control of this game here in the second quarter. As you see, Ja Morant catch that alley-oop. His first dunk at the Madison Square Garden is Elfrid Payton. Elfrid Payton actually had a nice game up until the end. Had a nice game up until the end, and we're going to talk about that as Ja Morant, wasn't sure if he wanted to pass or to shoot it, ends up shooting it and puts it in. Ja Morant had 18 points tonight and 10 assists. 48-40, Mitch Robinson gets another steal, gets the ball out to Elfrid Payton. Elfrid Payton goes, lays it in. Elfrid Payton on the night had 15 points. He had 11 assists. He was shooting 17 for 14 from the field. Played well tonight. I got to give it to him. Marcus Morris knocks down a three, but Marcus Morris didn't have really a good game, ladies and gentlemen. One of the worst games I've seen him play as a Knick, as the Knicks tied a ball game at 50. It went down 7-8 points. They tied it at 50, then automatically let the Memphis Grizzlies go on a run. 55-50. Now it's 61-52, the top of the third. The Knicks were down 7 at half. They were down 59-52 at half. Then they come out in the third quarter. They just couldn't hold on to it, ladies and gentlemen. 70-56. The Grizzlies up 14. Jaren Jackson Jr. knocks down a three from the corner. 73-56. It's now a 17-point lead. Elfrid Payton finds Julius Randle. Julius Randle goes up, gets hit, puts it in. Julius Randle on the night, he had 16 points. He had 14 rebounds. He also had 6 assists. Ja Morant, another nice move in the paint. Puts the Memphis Grizzlies up by 20 points. It's 82-60 now. It's Elfrid Payton. Gets into the lane, lays it off the glass. You know, Elfrid Payton can have nights like this. It's just that it's not consistent. It's not every night. Elfrid Payton, again, to the cup, lays it up for Mitch. And the Knicks try to fight. They get down by 22 points in this third quarter, ladies and gentlemen. They try to fight to get back. Damian Dotson, he knocks down a three. to make it 85. Now it's 87-72. Damian Dotson knocks down another 3 to bring the Knicks back to within 12. And you thought maybe they could continue to go on a run. It's 89-77. Jay Crowder finds number 15, Brandon Clark, for the dunk down the lane. A couple of those in a row got me pretty upset as Dennis Smith Jr. gets the dunk off the backdoor cut. 96-81. Julius Randle out to Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr. pulls back, knocks down the 3 to make it 96-84 to end the third quarter. Now it's 96-86 at the top of the fourth. 10-point lead for the Grizzlies. Then they knock down the 3. Make it is now 103-86. Kevin Knox goes to the basket. He lays it in for 2 of his 8 points. The Knicks try to stick around, but wasn't going to happen as Ja Morant with a beautiful, beautiful play. And when you see that up close, that's just poetry in motion. Poetry in motion from the young kid. Ja Morant is he's magic with the ball, ladies and gentlemen. You got to love what he does with the ball. Mitchell Robinson out the top of the key. Fails to shoot it, but he finds Marcus Morris, who knocks down the 3. Marcus Morris on the night with 17 points. He had 6 rebounds, 4 personal fouls, 4 turnovers. He was 5 for 17 from the field. He was 3 for 9 from the three-point line. He just kept shooting and shooting and shooting. And, he was getting me frustrated. And he was knocking down a couple of them, but he just kept shooting and shooting and shooting. He wasn't really hitting. Mitchell Robinson running the lane. He gets the pass. 3 minutes and 58 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Knicks down 12. At this point, they really need to do something. They need to get stops. They need to make baskets. They couldn't get stops. Ja Morant knocks down another one in the paint. 116-104. Marcus Morris with one of his 4 turnovers. Memphis Grizzlies come back. Jay Crowder from 3. Bam. And that's the one right there. That's the one. Put that game right out. Mitchell Robinson goes for the steal. Jonas goes in, since I can't say his last name, dunks that one home. And the game gets ugly, ladies and gentlemen. They watch it here. Elfrid Payton pushes Jay Crowder, and then a melee breaks out, and Julius Randle's arguing and yelling at security guards and all kinds of junk, man. Not a good night for the New York Knicks. Not a good night at Madison Square Garden. Not a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Not a good one at all. That was bad. That was bad. And it puts a stain on the Garden and puts a stain on the Knicks. Elfrid Payton should be suspended at least a game. It's just no call for what he did. Just no reason to do that. Look, you got blown out. Bottom line, you got blown out. You got beat. You got blown out. What is the point? What is the purpose of going and pushing Jay Crowder in the chest? Because you're mad because he stole the ball? That's what you're mad about? Because he stole the ball? Well, guess what? Julius Randle threw a lazy pass, and Elfrid Payton neglected to go get that lazy pass. So Jay Crowder took the ball. You don't want it to happen, go get the ball. You don't want to be in that position, win the game. Right? Win the game. You don't want to be in that position, win the game. Don't let it come down to that. Instead, you take your frustrations out on Jay Crowder and push him in the chest while he's defenseless. You know what I'm saying? While he was defenseless. That's dirty to me. You know what? Evan Hayes, you say, I understand why he did it, but it was still wrong. James Sanchez, you say, I'm overreacting? That was Bush League by Crowder. You know what? That's garbage to me. There's 48 seconds left in the game. You know what I'm saying? People are going to play basketball. So what? He stole the basketball. That's the basketball game. It's not Bush League. It's Bush League to push him in the chest when he's defenseless in the air because you're upset that he stole the basketball. That's Bush League. If you didn't like it, okay, go into his face and say something. Okay? Go say something. Say, yo, that's garbage. Why you got to do that? You're going to rub it in our face? Why you going to do that? That's garbage. But you don't push him in the chest and try to hurt the man. Because it was deliberate. It wasn't even a mistake. He deliberately went towards his chest. That's Bush League, bro. That is Bush League. There's no reason for that. That's garbage. That's garbage, man. Stole the ball. Don't let him steal the ball. Simple solution. Simple solution. I don't feel like I'm overreacting on that one. I'm sorry. I mean, there's no reason. Maybe he should not have stole the ball, but he did. And that's how you play basketball. Really? I don't care how much time is left on the clock. Play basketball. That's trash, man. That was a bad play by Elfrid Payton. I have no respect for that at all. You know what I mean? I had some respect for Elfrid. Look, I'm not going to say I lost all my respect for Elfrid Payton. You know, I'd be saying that strictly out of emotion if I said that. I had respect for him as a player and as a young man, but that makes me lose some respect for him when I see plays like that. I'm sorry. You know, you can say what you want. There's just no call. There's no reason for that. There's no reason for that at all. You know, that's bad. And that's you taking your frustration out on another player because you or your team, because Elfrid Payton actually performed well tonight, because your team did not perform well. That's my opinion on that. Sorry. Let's take a look at the matchup for the night, ladies and gentlemen. Memphis Grizzlies shot 50% from the field. They shot 46.4% from three. They shot 84.8% from the free throw line. The Knicks shot 42.9% from the field, 32.1% from three, and 65.5% from the free throw line. I asked the question last night, were the Knicks showing some identity with the defense? Obviously not, because they did not do it tonight. They did not do it tonight. They didn't do it. They gave up 127 points on 50% shooting. It's not defense to me. The Knicks out-rebounded them 46-44. The Knicks actually had 26 assists tonight. The Memphis Grizzlies had 25 assists. The Knicks just can't make shots, bro. 9 steals for the Knicks, 7 for the Memphis Grizzlies, 9 blocks for the Knicks, 3 blocks for the Memphis Grizzlies, 10 turnovers for the Knicks. 16 turnovers for the Knicks, and 11 turnovers for the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies' biggest lead was 22. The Knicks' biggest lead was 3. Let's round this out, taking a look at the box scores, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you care much, but I'm going to read it out to you. All right, for the Memphis Grizzlies, Jay Crowder, he had 18 points. It's 4 for 6 from the field. It was 4 for 6 from the free throw from the 3-point line. He was 6 for 7 from the free throw line. He had 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Jaren Jackson Jr. had 10 points. Started off, in the first half, he didn't score. Ended up 4 for 12 from the field for 10 points, 5 and 2 rebounds, 5 personal fouls. Jonas Valanciunas, there you go. Got it right. Was able to spit it out. I was spitting it out all night. Then for some reason, at one point, I messed it up. And then, I don't know. But anyway, Jonas Valanciunas, he had 12 points and 13 rebounds with 4 assists. Dylan Brooks had 27 points, 19 of them in the first half of the game. John Morant had 18 points, 10 assists, 3 rebounds. He was 7 for 13 from the field. Brandon Clark had 17 points. Tyus Jones had 12 points. Must be something going on with Tyus Jones, man, because he's the only player on the Memphis Grizzlies team with a negative plus-minus. His plus-minus is negative 21. I don't know. Maybe, that's the one time that I believe the plus-minus, and I have faith in that plus-minus. When you have one person that stands out, that means that when he was in the game, anytime he was in the game, his man was scoring on him. That's what that means to me. For the New York Knicks, flip this on over here to the New York Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus Morris, he led the team with 17 points. It was not an efficient 17 points. He had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 4 turnovers. Julius Randle, he had 16 points. He was 5 for 14 from the field, 0 for 4 from the 3-point line. 6 for 10 from the free throw line. He had 14 rebounds, and he also had 6 assists and 3 turnovers. Taj Gibson played 10 minutes. He had 2 points. Reggie Bullock had 9 points. Elfrid Payton had 15 points. Kevin Knox had 8 points. Damian Dotson had 15 points, played 24 minutes. Mitchell Robinson had 10 points. He played 30 minutes. Dennis Smith Jr. played 13 minutes. He had 8 points. Bobby Portis played 14 minutes, had 4 points. And Wayne Ellington, there was a Wayne Ellington sighting. He had 8 points. He played 8 minutes and had 2 points. Frank Ntilikina and Alonzo Trier did not see the floor tonight. Did not see the floor at all. So I have some questions about that, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll talk about that a little bit for the second night in a row. Last night, Frank Ntilikina played 3 minutes. Tonight, he played 0 minutes. And now Mike Miller, he used the excuse, you're playing some quick guards, which Frank Ntilikina does well with some of those guards. But he used the excuse. He said playing some quick guards and back-to-back nights and blah, 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 blah. Something more than that. It's clearly something more than that. I don't know, but there's something more than that, ladies and gentlemen. Right? I don't know, man. Not a good night. Not a good night for the New York Knicks. Not a good night for Elfrid Payton. Let's talk to some of our guys that's here in the video chat. And these guys have been with me all night long, so I appreciate you guys for being here with me. If you don't know, we did a live, we commentated the game live on Sportscaster. We had a good time doing it. It was pretty fun. All right, next time we do it, hopefully you'll join me. I'll do another one next month, and hopefully you'll get a chance to join me. Okay? Let's talk to the guys that's in the video chat, see what these guys think. I already know what they think, but let's talk to them. Let's see what's going on. I got my man Kevin. Haven't seen Kevin in a while. Kevin, I'm coming to you, bro. All right, so make sure you mute those guys out. Somebody let Kevin know that I'm coming to him so he can talk about the game. All right?
All right.
Kevin, what's up, bro?
All right. Tell me what y'all thought about what Crowder did, man. What are your thoughts on Crowder?
Hey, Kevin, can you hear me? Kevin McLeod, can you hear me?
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, there we go. I need you, bro. I need you.
Hey, Sim.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Nothing.
Give me
Go ahead.
your thoughts on the game, bro. Tell me your thoughts on the game. What's going on?
My thoughts on the game. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this much, and I know that people in the chat won't like it. At least all the Frank haters. But I think if Frank was in there, we probably would have, got beaten by lesser points because John Morant is a monster.
Well, that's about I mean, you're definitely right about that. John Morant, man, he does his thing out there. He's a baller, and we needed Frank Ntilikina tonight. And obviously, we didn't get Frank Ntilikina tonight, but we needed Frank Ntilikina tonight.
Yeah, the thing about it is, here's my thing. Now, I've been on Mike Miller's bandwagon since he got into the interim tag. But here's the thing: after last night, I'm really starting to question what he's doing. And the reason why I say that is because last night he said that the reason why Frank didn't get a lot of playing time last night because it was a back-to-back and he wanted to save his guards for tonight. Okay, here comes tonight, and Frank doesn't get in at all. So I would have rather him been. I would like him to have been honest, but we're not going to see that because we all know that they and Mills and Perry, they want to showcase these guys. So that's the reason why a lot of the, at least for Frank, why he's not getting any run. Would you agree with that?
I have questions about that. not that I have questions about it. Not that Frank doesn't deserve to play. My
No,
question
not
about
right.
my question about that is it
Because
that they're showcasing Dennis Smith Jr. or is there a possibility that there's something going on, some negotiations going on with, and Frank Ntilikina's included, and that team does not want Frank Ntilikina to play until these negotiations are completed.
well, if that's the case, they're keeping a tight lid on it because right now, we 2 games before Charlotte, I believe we were like 5 games out of that last playoff spot. All right, which is sad, but still, we were still 5 games out. Now, with these 2 losses, we're pushed back even more. And if we were really going for that final playoff spot, you would have had Frank in there. You wouldn't have had Dennis Smith Jr. because he's hardly played.
Right.
You wouldn't have had you had Ellington in there tonight. Come on. I mean, really? I mean, so for what you're saying, I would give a lot of validity to that. And then on the flip side, I would say that they're really showcasing in these guys. And if they're really, I'm going to go with the showcasing part. If that's the case, I want DSJ, Ellington, and Portis out of there. I really, really want them out of there. And I know people are going to want Morris out of there too, but if we can't get anything substantial for him, I don't want to just give him away. And
well,
yeah, that's
the only thing I
go
would
ahead.
say. The only thing I would say to that. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Bless you.
The only thing I would say to that is, if you're not going to keep him, then if you're not going to keep him, and
you're talking about Morris, right?
Morris, right? Morris.
Okay.
If you're not going to keep Morris, and he's going to become a free agent anyway, does it matter if you even just get a 2nd-round pick? I mean, does it? I mean,
well, here's the problem with that. Okay, so we've got Iggy in the 2nd round, and he hasn't even gotten any meaningful run at all. We don't know what he can do. He's doing all this great work in the G League, but he hasn't done any. We can't even put him on the floor. So if that's the case of getting a 2nd-round pick, which I have no problem with, but we have got to see what these players can do. And also, if we're going to, all right, so let's say we get rid of, we trade Morris, we trade DSJ, we trade Ellington, and we trade, let's say we, find some way to get rid of Portis as well. I would like a lot of those G League players to really, come up here. Because I totally agree with you. You said before that, yeah, Tony Wooten is, Kenny Wooten is good, but there are a lot of other players that are more hungry. I want to see those players. I want to see your Lamar Peters. I want to see, and it's sad that I don't really know the other players that are on our Westchester team. But from what you said, there are a lot of other players that are hungrier.
There's some other players that can play some basketball on that team.
Yes.
Yes.
Now
some of them are older, like the way that what's his name there is older.
Kadeem Allen, right?
Kadeem Allen. So some of them are a little bit older, but there's some guys that can play. Obviously,
right.
If you're going to bring somebody up from the G League, you probably want to go with the youth, though.
Right. And here's the other thing. All right, so we're all looking towards the draft and getting a dynamic point guard. Let's say now the strong possibility that we'll get that point guard. Let's say we don't.
Mm-hmm.
From what I'm hearing about with this Lamar Peters, maybe he might be it. Maybe he might be that point guard that that we're looking for. But if he doesn't get that chance, what are we doing?
I don't know, man. Nah, I feel you. I feel you big time, man.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't know. I don't
it
know.
just
Now I heard you. I heard you getting ready to talk about the or ask questions about that. What Jay Crowder did. What do you think about
yes.
it?
All right. They were already up 18.
Right.
So not only does he steal the ball, which I have no problem with, but then he goes to try and shoot a 3-point shot, and you were already up 18.
Right.
I would be me personally. Now I wouldn't have gone the extreme that 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 Alfred
Alfred
did.
Payton. Uh
'Cause-
huh.
Yeah, yeah, Alfred. I wouldn't have gone to that extreme, but I would have let him know. I remember a few years ago when we still had Ron Baker. This is how much I love my Knicks. When we had Ron Baker, he made a shot against Dallas, and then you had JJ Barea going after him. Going after him after the game.
Right.
See, that would have
Now,
been a little bit more subtle. But honestly, I've never liked Jay Crowder. Even when he was with the Celtics, when he was with Utah, when he was with Cleveland. So for us to show any fight against him, I really don't care. But
right.
I thought
And
it
look,
was wrong. So his second his second part I thought was a little extreme. You steal the ball, okay, dribble it out. I mean, I think it was like what 48 seconds left. Dribble the ball out.
and I understand. I get that. I understand that. Right. And I'm a big proponent of this. This is just me as a coach, as someone who I'm out there in youth leagues and things and coaching all the time. I'm just kind of like this. You don't want a team to take a shot at the end of the game against you. When they're up by 20 points, don't get
Yeah.
down by 20 points.
Okay. Well,
That's
the
the
other
way
thing.
that I
Yeah,
feel.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want that to happen? Don't get down by 20 points. I feel
Yeah.
now as a coach, when my team, if we're up by 20 points, I tell them, it's the end of the game, don't shoot the ball. Okay, all that, I do that, right? It's good sportsmanship. I do that.
Absolutely.
Unless we're in a tournament and there's a point differential. And when a tournament and there's a point differential, then we're scoring.
When you mean
This
a
is
point differential, what do you mean?
point differential is like, okay, let's say that two teams are tied, right? There's three teams in a tournament. The team with the best record is going to go. The top two teams with the best record are going to play in the championship. Let's say all three teams are tied 1-1. Now it goes by which team scored the most points.
Right. Okay.
Or say it's
Okay.
my team and another
see.
team that's trying to
Okay.
get
All right, I
second
got it.
place, and we both won a game against each other, right? If my team, we won our game by 10, they won their game by 8, we'll get that second place spot because we scored more points, or we beat them by more points, right? So if point differential means something, then yeah, my team's got to go score. But I will, say, hey, chill out on the scoring. We're cool. We don't have to shoot that last shot. But still, if a team shoots the last shot against me, I really don't care. Because I tell my players, you don't want that shot to happen, don't get blown out.
Yeah, and they were making a comparison to what happened with Kansas and Kansas State. Kind of like the same thing happening. I listened to a little bit of Mike Miller's press conference, and a reporter asked him the same thing, if that was it, and he kind of dismayed the whole thing. He doesn't think that that there's a problem, everything, and you're right. If if you don't want that to happen, don't get down 20 points. I think I think some of the I will say this. I think a lot of the calls that was happening, I totally didn't agree with. I mean, the calls were just totally. It was like two straight games where the calls have been. Yeah.
And
So,
obviously, the New York Knicks did not like what Jay Crowder did. We're going to take a second and listen to Marcus Morris as he talks about Jay Crowder and things. I mean, look, Was it good sportsmanship? No, it wasn't good sportsmanship, and I wouldn't sit in here and say that it was good sportsmanship on behalf of Jay Crowder. Right, stole the ball. It's 48 seconds left. He stole the ball, and then he was going to shoot it. It's no need for that. You can go ahead and just, it's no need for that. I get that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right. Sam. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. You steal the ball, okay. There's not much you could. You stole the ball, cool. Dribble out the clock. Let's go back to the locker room.
Right.
That's it. That's it. But some people in this league take offense. And even Mike Breen on the broadcast, he wasn't cool with it either, with Crowder, taking a shot either. So that just shows you, how far the NBA has come. At least, well, not even the NBA, but just in sports in general, running up the score. I mean, it's the same thing in football. When they when they run up touchdowns and everything, they don't feel as though it's good sportsmanship. So,
I hear it. Well, let's listen to Marcus Morris, and then we're going to hear from Elfrid Payton. Let's listen to Marcus Morris talk about Jay Crowder.
I don't think it's a build-up, man. I think dude is just, he played the game a different way. Like, you just a lot of female tendencies on the court, flopping and throwing his head back the entire game. And, like I said, man, it's a man's game, and you just get tired of it, man. And then obviously at the end, it's very unprofessional. They win in the game. It's a good team, and he does stuff like that, man.
When you say unprofessional, are you referring to the steal at that point? Is it kind of code that you don't go for those plays late like that?
No, the steal was cool. You got the steal. It is what it is. But when you step back and shoot a three, you know what I'm saying, and try to, low-key like rub it in that they're winning, it's just unprofessional, man. It's soft. His game is soft. He's soft. It's just, just how he carried it, man. It's just very womanlike.
And he says it's very womanlike. Says he's got a lot of female tendencies, flopping on the court, throwing his head back. He's soft, very womanlike. Them sounds like fighting words, Kevin. They sound like fighting words, bro. They sound like...
I want to know when the next game is between us, because they got to, we got to go out to there to Memphis. I want to be there for that one.
Yeah. Oh boy. Only in New York Knick land, man. Only in New York Knick land do we get this kind of stuff. Let me get over here.
And also, hey, real quick, Sim. So there were chants of sell the team. People got to realize Dolan is not selling the team unless there's some big scandal. He is not selling the team. So cats need to really get that out their head, because he's not selling.
Yeah, it's not. Darley, I'm gonna come to you, Darley, man. I want to find out what you think about what's going, everything that happened tonight. What you think about it, Darley? What's going on, man?
About the game?
About the game, about the play with Elfrid Payton and Jay Crowder.
I just think it was a soft move, personally. I think it's really soft. I get it. Like, it's you look for a sense of respect, sportsmanship from other players, but it's like, I think as an athlete, especially at that level, you gotta expect the unexpected, and that's what I have a problem with. It's like, oh, that happened. Okay, go defend them. Like, what are you doing? Like, why push them? Go defend them. Why? Like, what's the point of fighting about it?
Right.
The game's over. Either way, he scores another point. You still lost. It's not like it was make it or break it. So,
or remember it so that the next time you play him, you don't get in that position. And you know what I'm saying? You bring it to him. How about that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's like, especially, like, if you want to talk about the Mamba mentality, that was part of it. Learning from your mistakes, and being relentless. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you would think like that's something that would go through people's minds at a time like this, but it's like, it is what it is. But like, I just don't like the way that happened. I think if he would have went up to his face and been like, hey, like, yo, dude, that wasn't right. Like, just talk about it. Like, like, especially in the league now where everyone's so friendly. It's not like the 90s where everyone was trying to knock each other's heads off. You know, like, why not just go up to them, let them know, hey, I don't like that. I don't like that. You know, that's not the way to end the game. So that's right.
Yeah,
And
man.
another point I want to talk about John Morant, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yo, he's an orchestrator out there, man. He looks like he's running a choir. Like, we're at Carnegie Hall when when he's working out there, man. It's crazy. The way that he's passing, the way that he was distributing the ball, he knew where everyone was. It was crazy. I was like, wow. Yo, he's gonna be something special, man.
That's what he is, man. That's what he is.
Like I really woke up from my nap to watch that game, son. And it was like, and I was like, oh, we're losing. Okay, whatever. But then it's like I kept watching because of John Morant. That's what kept me in the game.
Yeah. What's your take on the Frank Ntilikina situation right now?
I think it's some front office stuff that's going on. I like Frank, and I hope they're not trying to move him because I do think like he has an upside. I feel like he's a good bench player. I don't think he's a starting player by any facet of the imagination as of right now. But I just feel like they're showcasing Dennis Smith Jr. and the players that they're trying to move. Like Wayne Ellington hasn't played in a while, and all of a sudden Wayne Ellington is playing. So it kind of says a lot in regards to like, you know, what's going on. That's just how I feel, how I see it, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's take a listen to. I want to take a listen to Elfrid Payton, and you know the way that he, listen. Elfrid Payton basically is just saying, I have no regrets. Bottom line, this is Elfrid Payton.
Have you heard anything about what could potentially, if there's any ramifications here for you, then regardless, would you take it back, or are you okay with how it went out?
Stand on that. I did it again. It doesn't matter who took that shot. Don't disrespect the game like that.
So you would do something like that?
That was just I just said.
So there you go. He said he would do it again. Did you hear him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he would do it again.
I mean, I mess with the energy though, because it's like at the same time, isn't that what we want from our Knicks? I just think this isn't the right time. Like it's not the right situation to give that energy though. It's like give that energy for other situations when you're losing, like when you're down the stretch. Like why don't you give that energy now? That's when you give that energy. You give that fighting energy when you're trying to win a game, not when you're getting blown out. What's the point?
Yeah. So now, back to Frank Ntilikina. Coach Mike Miller says that the reason that Frank Ntilikina did not play, that he was in the game plan to play tonight, he did not play because of a groin injury.
Oh, he's been dealing with that for a while now, though.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's what he's been dealing with. I mean, he's been dealing with that since he's come into the league, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's one of those things where they may have to look further into it. So,
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's one of two things. They're either showcasing Dennis Smith Jr.,
which they're not doing a good job at as of right now, because it's not like he's doing much out there.
Right. They're either showcasing Dennis Smith Jr. or Frank Ntilikina. There's something in the works for Frank Ntilikina, and he can't be played right now. So well, I guess we'll see, man. I guess we'll see which one it actually is. But Coach Mike Miller said that Frank did not play because of a groin injury, and I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it whatsoever, man.
I don't know, man. I really hope they don't move Frank. I know there's a lot of Frank haters out there. I'm not a Frank stan by any sense of the imagination.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me get some other guys in here. Light. Let me get to my man Light. Somebody let Light know that I'm getting ready to come to him so he can get on and talk. All right. Light, what's going on, man? What's your take on this?
What's good with you, man?
I'm good, bro. Glad to see you. What's your take on this Frank Ntilikina situation, man?
On the DNP?
Yeah.
And I don't believe that injury is for real. I don't buy that at all because, if he was hurt, it should have been in the injury report before the game. Where he hurt himself coming out the tunnel. I don't buy that at all. And this whole shopping dudes for the trade deadline is weak to me. If you're gonna trade a dude, trade him. But at this point, like I've said before, and I'm gonna stand on it, we need to be playing the dudes that we believe are part of our future. If you planning on trading DSJ, keep him there on the bench. Everybody know what he is. You brought him out there. He's shown that he's healthy. All right, cool. He's healthy. Trade him. Otherwise, play Frank. Frank been playing great basketball here lately. So for you to have him sitting on the sidelines and then after the game sit up here and talk about a groin injury, I don't believe you. You need more people, and that's how I feel about that. You're not gonna convince me that suddenly Frank was hurt, but he was healthy at the beginning of the game. I checked the injury report. The only name on there was Barrett with the ankle. Mm-hmm. So I don't buy it. You know what I mean? I don't buy it at all.
Right.
He could have came up with something better than that, in my opinion.
Right. So we're 7 days from the trade dedeadline.
It can't come fast enough.
Do you think? Yeah, you're right about that. And fortunately and unfortunately, it's a wild thing, because I don't want them to make any crazy moves, but I also do want them to free up this space so that these guys can play. You know what I'm saying? And do some things to to just ease. Listen, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of tension right now around the team. This team is not strong mentally. So you heard the report that came out earlier when Scott Perry and Steve Mills gave this, that they expect the team to make the playoffs,
about
right?
The playoffs and all that.
Right. And it put some, first of all, Scott Perry and Steve Mills, I don't think any of us expected it, right? We said maybe they win 30 to 35 games. None of us said playoffs. We said if things go perfect, maybe they sniff the playoffs. If things are perfect, obviously they're very imperfect. But, so they put that on the team. And then they said, so what it do? It put a lot of pressure on the players. The players were a little distraught over, the fact that they weren't winning and this thing that they had to make the playoffs and all this stuff like that, right? So to me, it says the team is not strong mentally. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't get comfortable playing at the Garden because everybody was booing. This team is not strong mentally. We've seen it tonight. You know what I'm saying? And now with the trade deadline looming, it's probably having the same effect. These guys are not strong mentally. And you figure it's got to be the guys that are on the one-year contracts because the R.J. Barretts, the Mitchell Robinsons, you know what I'm saying? They probably feel kind of secure. At least those two guys right there feel secure. Kevin Knox, he's probably feeling whatever he's feeling. He's got the contract, but he's not sure if he's going to be here or be traded. Maybe Frank Ntilikina feels the same way. So I'm sure there's some pressure there. And it's not even about if they're winning, just because we didn't expect them to be a playoff team.
Nobody knows where they stand.
Nobody knows where they stand. Nobody knows what, it's
And again, that mental toughness thing is we could say these guys aren't mentally tough, but I believe that starts from the top. When you got people at the top that have a clear direction, a clear vision, and a clear idea of what they want and what they're looking for, it's easy to figure out where you stand. But when you got the people at the top switching it up every 2 seconds, don't know if they want to go left or right, if they want to play this dude, not play that dude, it makes the people below you uneasy. If you go back to the beginning of the season, Kevin Knox was talking like a veteran. They was talking to Kevin Knox and he was like, yeah, I'm just trying to show these young guys how to move in the league. I'm da-da-da-da-da. And you saw it in his game for those first few games. We was looking at Kevin Knox like, oh, wow, look, his jump shot looks good. He looks strong. You know what I'm saying? But then as the time went on and the direction started to shift, you saw him get small. And you started to see that the bullies was taking over the game. Your Julius Randles was taking over everything. Marcus Morris was taking over everything. And that was because he was pushed out. So to me, that mental toughness is something that could be fortified. When you got a team this young and you don't have strong leadership, they're gonna be wayward all season.
Yeah.
It's a given.
Yeah. Yeah, man. How many games do we have before this trade deadline? Because, like you said, it can't come fast enough.
At all. I think the deadline's what, the 7th?
The deadline is the 6th, February the 6th.
Next Thursday?
Next Thursday. Next Thursday. February the 6th, next Thursday. Yeah, next Thursday is the trade deadline. We just got to get this thing out the way. Let whatever happen. You know what I'm saying? And move on from there. We play, let's see. We play Indiana Saturday. We play Cleveland on Monday. And then we don't play again until February the 6th. So in between that Cleveland and Orlando Magic game on February the 6th, we could, we'll see what happens there. But that's what our schedule looks like for the upcoming, the next few days. So we get tomorrow
Cleveland
off, we get Friday off, a much needed 2-day break. We'll get that off, and then, we play the Pacers, we play the Cavaliers, and then we come back home and play the Orlando Magic. Definitely a much needed break for this team. You had the Kobe Bryant thing, and then you had back-to-back games where, they lost to the Hornets in a frustrating game, and then obviously tonight, their frustrations boiled over into what happened on the floor tonight. They need this mental break to get away from the game. If I was Mike Miller, that's what I do. I'm like, look, I'd hand down whatever consequences I'm handing down. Then I'm like, everybody else, get away from the game. No practice, just get away from the game, and then let's come back versus the Pacers. You know what I mean? But we got 2 games into the deadline, and then on February 6th is the deadline, and the Knicks play versus the Orlando Magic. And depending on what goes down, we could either be fully equipped for that game versus the Orlando Magic, or we could be, not have players to suit up, depending on what kind of things go down. So we'll see what happens, man. We will see what happens.
I don't know, man. They need to figure it out real quick, because it's just getting uglier and uglier. And we're losing all these games. We're losing these games on effort. It's just effort is always lacking. I don't think I've ever seen the Knicks do anything at full speed. When we was playing, what was the game before tonight?
Charlotte.
They beat us because they played at full speed. We don't do nothing at full speed. We don't come down the court at full speed. We don't come up. Nothing is ever done. Like, these guys never look like they're running at top speed with full effort and energy. And that's why we're losing these 50-50 games. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's definitely, and it's painful when, we can't come after a game and just analyze the game. You know what I'm saying? We got to go through all this other garbage instead of just analyzing what happened in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you see nothing, like, there's nothing productive from this game tonight. Nothing productive
at all.
That you want to take with you. Yeah,
right.
It's troublesome, man. It's definitely troublesome. Big Freezy, I'm coming to you, Big Freezy. See what's going on, man. Freezy, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
I'm good.
Hey, man, you got me nervous, man, about this Frank Ntilikina trade thing, man, because I think it's real. I think it's something to it, man.
It could be, man. You
know what I meant when you were talking, because I take into, like, I like to listen to different opinions on stuff, man. My opinion is not the only one that's valid. I like to surround, but whatever. I'm thinking this Andre Drummond thing is real. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking this Frank Ntilikina and a couple of those free agents are headed there for Andre Drummond. There's got to be something.
Now the Knicks say that they're not interested in Andre Drummond right now. If they did have interest in him, it would be over the summer when he's a free agent.
Right. But what else would
Frank Ntilikina be
defensive-minded point guard for?
What'd you say?
What else would you trade a young defensive-minded point guard for?
I have no idea.
In assets.
I have no idea. I don't know.
I know, man.
I hope they're not thinking about trading him for Malik Monk.
Wouldn't that be classic Knicks though?
That would be super duper classic Knicks to trade Frank Ntilikina for Malik Monk, man. So if that happened, bro, if that happened, and I know, people are probably like, yo, Sim, don't put that in the atmosphere. But if that happened, right, that would mean that you brought in two guys that you passed up who are underwhelming in their career, right? And traded out Frank Ntilikina, who's been underwhelming too, but who's been underwhelming as well, but at least he has a calling card, which is defense. Right. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that be something? Well,
man,
wouldn't that be something?
And you know what though? And watching the game tonight, I was swayed, like basically what you were saying, because I was like, man, at some point, just put in all the young guys, man, and see what the young guys can do. Right? You pointed something out, I was like, okay, let's just see how this play out. And then I watch our starting point guard push a dude because they were losing by 20. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, man, what are we really doing? You know what I mean? Like all this stuff we invested in the veterans, they can't win a midweek game against a team that's under 500, right?
Yeah.
So what is the organization actually doing? You're not developing the young guys and the veterans you put in.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm looking in the YouTube chat. Evan Hayes says, watch that happen, talking about Frank Ntilikina being traded for Malik Monk. He said, watch that happen. Yo, and then come back and kill us next year. That would happen too. It'd be the one, it would be the one game where Frank Ntilikina comes out and drops like 5 3-point baskets and scores 20 for the first time in his career. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? And to that point, I'm gonna point out something I put in the chat earlier. We didn't notice that Willie Hernan Gomez killed us yesterday. Did y'all notice that he had a double-double off the bench?
Yeah. Willie had a double-double off the bench. Yeah,
off the bench in less than 20 minutes. He came in and balled against us. You know what I'm saying? But we say that he don't have a spot on our team. We trade him away for like a second-round pick or two. And he come back and just ball out of his mind against us. He was averaging 4 points and 2 rebounds a game and put up, I think, 13 points and 10 or 11 rebounds against us. It's classic Knicks, man.
Yeah. So peep this real quick. This is from Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris just sent out a tweet. Said, I apologize for using the term female tendencies. I have the utmost respect for women and everything they mean to us. It was a heat of the moment response, and I never intended for any women to feel as though in any way I'm disrespecting them. Again, I apologize with my comments. It sounds like the New York Knicks got to him now,
Yeah, they should have too.
The New York Knicks got to him and said, "Hey, you got to recant that because now it's on Sports Center. What he said is now on Sports Center." So, boy, we just can't stay out the mud, bro. We can't stay out the mud.
Some of us have daughters that play sports. I have a daughter that plays sports at a high level, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to hear like dudes, you know what I'm saying stuff like that, making them feel like they don't deserve to be. You know what I'm saying, in the spotlight, even whether he meant it or not. Some of that stuff, man, he should have just said no comment.
Yeah, no comment. And so then here we go. The Knicks get dragged further and further and further in the mud. Does it ever stop? You know what I'm saying? Does it stop?
It's time to blow it up, man.
When and how does it stop? Just getting dragged in the. We're dragging, not getting dragged in the mud. We're dragging ourselves into the mud.
Exactly, man.
We're dragging ourselves.
A midweek game against a sub 500 team should be enough for us to be frustrated. But not only to do that, to lead off like Sports Center and be on these shows showing how incapable we are to at least lose classy. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. It's frustrating being a Knicks fan, man. I'm telling you, man. That's why I say, man, just blow it up, man, and just let these young guys play.
Yeah, and you can see the tweet right here, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the tweet by Marcus Morris right here. It says, I apologize for using the term female tendencies in quotations. I have the utmost respect for women and everything they mean to us. It was a heat of the moment response, and I never intended for any woman to feel as though in any way I'm disrespecting them. Again, I apologize with my comments. Boy, let me get to a phone call, man. Get to a couple phone calls.
All right.
Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping, man?
What's popping, Sim? I appreciate you for taking my call. You know what I mean? I just want to make a couple comments about the game and about the fight that, or the push that went down. I'm sure you're not going to agree with me, but Knicks fans is going soft, man. Knicks fans is going soft. For us to be rambling on and on about how lame or how whack Elfrid Payton's push was because we was down 20. Listen, you was a player one day. You a coach right now. If you playing, you got house rules for your team. Now, win, lose, or draw, we're not going to get disrespected by the other team. Now, Jay Crowder's a veteran player, and he knows the unwritten rules. And there are unwritten rules. Let's not act like this is the first time. Did we not just see Kansas, the same situation happen and a huge fight broke out? We see this over and over with Russell Westbrook getting tight if somebody else takes a stupid shot at the end of the game trying to rub in a win. If you up, then win graciously. If you try to rub it in our face, then it's going to be a problem. So, yeah, you want to act tough, Jay Crowder, because you want to have this image that you tough. Elfrid Payton pushed you, stood over you, you got up, and you didn't do nothing. You retreated back to your quarter. So that's him showing you not tough. Marcus Morris ain't pushing him. A bigger dude ain't pushing him. Elfrid Payton is way smaller than Jay Crowder. This is the New York Knicks, bro. I could remember how many times Charles Oakley's done it. Ewing's done it. You know what I mean? Starks has done it. Some of our the players that we love and we covet, you know what I mean, do it throughout the league, tough guys. Like, come on. He disrespected our team. As fans, we got to stand behind our players and not – this ain't what Bobby Portis did that, you know, almost hurting a player who's going up for a layup in a game when we losing. That's not the same thing. This is a different situation. It's disrespecting the team. And before the season started, they declared none of this flipping the bottle, shooting, trying to disrespect us when you're already up 20 and there's just moments, seconds left in the game. That's not going down. So there's going to be physical consequences for that. And I don't care if we're losing by 20 because we don't have the roster right now to beat teams. So this is a rebuild team anyway. So you're not going to go play at the Atlanta Hawks and beat the Atlanta Hawks because we the same level team as the Atlanta Hawks and then go trying to rub it in their face and disrespect them. You beat a trash team. The Knicks are not a good team just now. So if you're trying to disrespect us, we're going to disrespect you too. And I think the fans, instead of trying to throw Payton under the bus, should stand behind him for that because everybody was talking a rah-rah, yeah, we want to be tough, yeah, we want to be 90 Knicks, and we were supporting that before the season started. He go out and he displayed 90 Knicks, and now we making him the bad guy, and we act like
this is my thing to that. I don't think that the 90s Knicks would have seen him in the air and pushed him before he came down. I don't think they would have done that. Would they have jumped in his face and been an argument in that manner? Of course it would have. And if Elfrid Payton did that, I wouldn't have had a problem with that at all, right? I wouldn't have had a problem with that at all. I just don't. I don't think you don't. He was defenseless. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, that is a cheap shot. He was defensive. To me, that's like, you know, somebody calling you, you know, I don't want to curse and everything, you know, somebody calling you a B, and then you waiting until they turn their back and you run from behind and hit them in the mouth from the back. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's kind of like that to me. I mean, that's how I feel it is because he was in the air. And before he could come down, you push him in the chest. So why couldn't you wait until he came down and then run up into his face? I just feel like he was defenseless. I feel like it was a cheap shot. You know what I'm saying? He did it when he was defenseless. He didn't do it when he could actually defend himself, right? Because to me, he did it when he was defenseless. He fell. What do you think everyone's going to do? They're going to run in to break it up. They're going to run in to stop it. So why did he wait till he came down, landed, and then run up into his face and want some smoke? You know what I'm saying?
Because do you think that he really considered that? As soon as as soon as Jay Crowder stole the ball and went into a shooting form, Elfrid Payton began to run at him. Whether or not he would have rose up and shot the ball, he was still about to get pushed. He pushed him with the intent of stopping him to shoot the ball. Now, Jay Crowder rose up faster than Elfrid Payton could run to him and began his shooting motion. And then he pushed him. He didn't calculate, let me do this cheaply. Let me wait till he's in the air and then try. He ran right. As soon as he stole the ball and he was going up for shooting motion, he was running at him with both hands out with the intent to push him. It just so happened that Jay Crowder rose up before he physically made contact and initiated the push.
Yeah, I actually feel like he did calculate.
Jay Crowder and Payton was the ref. Jay Crowder got up like he was tough, like he was going to do something, and he ain't do nothing. So, in my opinion, I'm 100% with Jay Crowder.
I actually feel like Elfrid Payton did calculate and see, okay, he's in the air. I'm going to push him while he's in the air. I actually do. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
I do. I don't think it was, okay, I'm running at him. I think he actually calculated. He seen he stole the ball. He didn't like it, and it was disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But I think he actually calculated he's in the air. I'm going to push him while he's in the air. I feel like it was dirty play. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was dirty. No, Jay Crowder disrespected us by doing that. And running up to him, getting in his face, arguing, even if he tapped him in the chest, but do it while you're standing in front of him. You know what I'm saying? You do it while he's defenseless. That's why I say, to me, it's like hitting somebody from the back. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he did it while he was defenseless. I don't support it. You know what I'm saying? I don't support it. I feel like if you have something to say to somebody, let him land, then get in his face, and what transpires from there transpires from there. You know what I'm saying?
He pushed him and stayed there. He didn't push him and back up. He didn't push him and he pushed him and stayed there. Like, get up, do something. And Jay Crowder got up and did nothing.
He pushed him and stayed there because he was on the floor. Would he have ran up to him if he was on his feet, standing straight up, hands ready? I don't know.
He would have.
I don't know. Maybe he would have. I don't know.
We couldn't agree to disagree on this one.
Yeah.
We can agree to disagree on this one. Because, I watched the replay. I didn't see it live. So maybe you saw something I didn't. But based on what I saw, that was my perception. That's how I interpreted the interaction. And if I was Jay Crowder, I would have pushed him too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure you would have pushed him too, Sim. But you probably would have waited for him to come down and confronted him like you're saying you would have. But you wouldn't have felt what he was trying to do. And guys been doing this to the Knicks for years, disrespecting them.
No, I wouldn't have felt that at all. I wouldn't have felt that at all. You know what I'm saying? What he was trying to do. I'm pretty sure we've all been in some situations like that. You know what I mean? When it comes to being on the basketball court, I wouldn't have felt it at all. But I wouldn't have pushed him while he was in the air. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Yeah, I wouldn't have pushed him while he was in the air. You know what I'm saying? I might have ran up to him and been like, yo, that's real dirty, and let whatever transpire from there. I just, it's whatever it is, it's a bad situation, man, and bad situation for the Knicks right now. It's a bad situation.
I think it's gonna pass.
I'm not talking about Elfrid Payton and Jay Crowder. Just everything is, it's just bad for the Knicks right now. The way things feel. Obviously the publicity of this. You know what I'm saying is the publicity is not looking good. And then, Marcus Morris, now ESPN is going to try to run with this whole thing with Marcus Morris saying, that he was, had female tendencies and all that kind of stuff. So once again, the Knicks is in the news for things other than playing basketball.
You're right. You're 100% right.
And I'm not even just saying about this whole situation. It's like everything, you got this situation. Now you got, I'm pretty sure the Knicks made Marcus Morris come out and say whatever, say that. And then, of course, you got the whole thing with the trade deadline and all of this. And, the Knicks is all this stuff that we talking about except for seeing good basketball on the court. You know what I mean? Even if they're not winning, just seeing good basketball on the court. Frustrating, man.
Right. I
It's
wanted to
frustrating.
ask you something, Sim, about, and it's about the trade deadline. Do you think that we're going to make a trade? Because to me, it appears like obviously there's trades that are being entertained, and that's why they're have these players auditioning for other teams. What do you think?
Man. I mean, I think, with the things that they've said that have come out, it would be hard to make a trade. They said they don't want to take on salary. They don't want to give up draft picks, and they don't want to move young players that they see being with the team going forward. So that makes it tricky to make a move. But with what's going on, like with Frank Ntilikina, like I was saying to the guys earlier, we're all looking at saying, well, they're trying to showcase Dennis Smith Jr., but what if there's something in the works for Frank Ntilikina and they're not playing him? It could, maybe it could be that.
Nah, I don't think so, because usually if there's something in the works, what the Knicks have done recently is they'll allow the player not to even show up. You know what I mean? The NBA has been doing that recently. Like if there's a player who there's they want out of the situation or is already agreed upon ahead of time that they're going to be moved, then they'll be like they'll allow them to dismiss themselves from the team. I've seen that in a couple of different occasions where
right.
It's not a volatile player. It's something that's both parties is amenable to both parties. They allow the guy to make moves. I think this is more like, think about
what
Frank's
I was
last
thinking.
Game. Frank's last game was a good game. What he had, 11 points.
Yep.
He came in. He had a good game.
Yep.
So it's not like he played overtly poorly for them to pull him. He was playing well. He had a rough stretch, but he's not an offensive juggernaut. He was consistent on defense and he still impacted the game in a winning way. It's plus minus and whatnot. So I don't think that they're leaning towards trading him. I'm sure that teams have offers on the table for him, and that's probably their preference of point guard between the players we have on our team. But I think we're trying to secure some picks or some other young players by giving up some assets that are kind of overlap each other. You got Traer, you got I don't got to say, the deal. The players that overlap each other. So I think that we're trying to clear that up so that the youth can play, because if that's not the case, then Steve Mills is on crack cocaine. If that's not the case, because if they're going to play these veterans for the rest of the season, then I'm finished. You know what I mean? The only reason why I haven't attended any of your events is because I cannot, in good faith, spend any money on the Knicks. The last Knicks game I went to was the game that Derrick Rose didn't even show up to. And I felt like it was a slap in the face to all the fans that you got a Knicks player who's just not going to show up for a game. I don't know if that's ever happened in NBA history. Like, the team was looking for him. He was AWOL. And then he leaves the team and has negative things to say about us when you were so unprofessional that you didn't even show up for a game. Like, you know what I mean? And I just felt like, damn, that's the last straw. I'm not going to pay my hard-earned money for an organization that's not showing me that they're at least trying to improve. And you hit it on the head a couple of shows ago when you had mentioned Steve Stout and the stupid statement that he made, right? I believe that was you.
Yeah.
When you said that, winning cures some things, but good entertainment cures everything. Stop right there. Like, I'm sitting back and I'm watching this team because I got a lot of crap to talk about Max Kellerman, but at the same time, man, like, not that I'm ready to jump ship at all. I'm a diehard Knicks fan, but if I were to go through another 10 years of this, I don't know if it's physically healthy for me to continue to pour so much into the Knicks. So I'm just sitting back and watching what they're gonna do, man. They better make some trades, or they better play the vets. I mean the young boys after the sixth, because it will make no sense for them not to, man.
Yeah. Nah, I hear you, and they got to. I mean, we got 2 games until we hit that deadline. The Knicks, they get a little bit of a break. They get tomorrow off, Friday off. They play on Saturday. They probably need that little bit of a break. to try to regroup. After these past, they played 3 games in 4 days. One really emotional game. They probably need some time to regroup, man, and just get their heads right and try to talking about the players now, and then try to come back and just perform well. Just perform, and then hopefully we get something happening with the front office, and we can come back after the 6th and focus on the young guys and enjoy watching the young guys play.
Right. Enjoy them losing by 30, but
right.
I'm still enjoy it.
But hey, but you know what?
This team right now that they trying out, man, this reminds me of Bella Harrington Knicks. So the Howard Isley, Shannon Anderson, Clarence Witherspoon, and Felton Spencer. That roster, I hated watching those games, bro. I hate watching these Knicks. Like, there's nothing. I don't get inspired to go play ball or you know what I mean. I don't get hype off these players, man. This is terrible. We need to have some youth athleticism out there, actually inspiring basketball.
Yeah, so, I hear you, bro.
Thanks for taking my call, son.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good one, man.
You too, my man.
Peace. Oh, my man, he brought up Othello Harrington and Felton Spencer, and oh, man, I don't even want to hear them names. That hurts. I don't even want to hear them names, man. I'm on for just a couple more minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a call, 516-405-2246. I'm going to get back in here with the guys in the video chat till I get a call. Guillermo, I'm coming to you, man. I'm coming to you, Guillermo. Guillermo, Othello Harrington, Felton Spencer, Shannon Anderson.
Yo, Sim. What are you doing?
Oh man, you remember them?
Othello Harrington?
Huh?
Yo, Othello Harrington's game was so like if you could take a generic ugly game and just and that stupid mustache. I'm sorry. Continue. I don't know why you're naming these awful. Players,
the caller that I just had just said that watching these guys brings them back to them days of Othello Harrington, Shannon Anderson, Felton Spencer, and them dudes, man. Oh,
I wouldn't say all that, but we are definitely in some dark days, but it wasn't as dark as that because that was still with Layden, right? That was like early 2000s.
Scott Layden, yeah, I think so. I think that.
So yeah, that was we were stuck. So don't mention that. Can I say something that some other call? I'm not sure if it was that last caller, but these guys think you can't. Someone said, "Oh, back in the '90s," but hold up, guys. Back in the '90s, right? All of basketball was physical, right? And we were also winning, and we also played tough like that on defense within the game. Was it ugly at times? Yes. Was it uncalled for at times? Yes, many times. But we were winning. And I'm sorry. Look, when Oakley went and fought Xavier Daniels, when they fought against the Bulls, when they fought against Alonzo Mourning, all that stuff. Maybe it's me, but I don't remember someone push another dude in the air because they were lazy on an inbound pass and the guy was actually making a basketball play. Like, I mean, these guys talk trash all the time. It is what it is. But you got to be more composed than that. You should be ashamed of yourself that happened. Now, if it was one thing where, Jay Crowder is less than 24 seconds on the clock and he still tries to score, maybe you confront him, you get in his face a little bit, you scream at him, bargain. But you, as Elfrid Payton, you do not want to be known as a guy who potentially paralyzed another dude on the court.
Yeah,
that's it, bro. You've seen it when you seen Jack Tatum hit just Darryl Stingley, whatever, in a meaningless game. Darryl Stingley's career was ruined for his life, bro. Like, people don't understand. You don't hit people in sensitive spots like that, bro. And that was in football. You're talking about guys in air, and it's a play you made. You should be ashamed of yourself. You guys gave up. He's only doing what he's supposed to do. He got a family to feed, bro. If he's paralyzed, he can't feed his daughter. He can't have no relationship with his wife anymore. You're gonna be the one to be like, oh yeah, I did it because a meaningless game. Like, come on, bro. There's nothing tough about that, man. You know what would have been tough? It would have been tough if you stopped him on the court. If after he talked all that trash to Marcus Morris, you shut him down, and then maybe he came to you and tried to retaliate or do something because he was doing it the whole night. And this is what I talk about the Knicks. We have no leadership. People talking about Marcus Morris leader. No, bro. A leader on the court gets guys composed and focused. Ignore this guy. It's Jay Crowder. Like you said, Sim, this guy never sticks anywhere. He's a girlfriend that everybody wants to, excuse my language, to be with, but they really don't want to be with. So you don't need to even talk trash him or her. Let her go out and let her go crazy. Let her talk. You got your girlfriend. You good. Worry about the game. Focus on the game. Try to beat these guys, bro. But you're letting this guy get to your head. Marcus Morris, the first quarter, 2 fouls for what? After you make a shot, bro. After you make a shot in his face. That should be I got it tonight. Let's go. In your head, bro. Come on, man. The greats. I don't care what no one says. I know this is why I look at some of these greats, the Kobe's, and I understand there are times when they fought. I'm not saying they never fought. But a guy like Jordan, you think he's gonna in a game? I know his name's not important, but you ever see a game where he pulls off something stupid like that to get 2 fouls in the first quarter and ruin it when he has to take himself out of the game? It's just this team need leadership somewhere, man. This is a very disappointing game, man.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Game, I got some more names for you.
Oh my Lord! Let me guess: Frederick Weiss, Chris Dudley,
Jerome James, John Wallace. I think I met John Wallace on the basketball court.
Oh my gosh, John Wallace, the one dude. Oh, I knew
Tony
when I saw that
Douglas.
Draft, was that 97, 98, 97?
Something like that. Tony Douglas,
John Nash, and Tony Douglas hit 9 threes for one game, so I'll give that to him.
Jonathan Bender.
Oh my gosh, came from the Indiana Pacers, was broken, high school phenom bust.
Howard Isley.
Oh my gosh, with the airs, and I think he's a coach for some team now, like an assistant coach or whatever. Oh my gosh.
Who else somebody put up here? What a Frederick Weiss, Marty Collins.
Oh, Marty Collins. I don't know. Marty Collins, you used to tell by his hairline and his haircuts, you could just tell he was never gonna. He's had that receding hairline, and like his body just never looked. Like it just looked like it gave up, kind of like
Chris Duhon, Howard Isley. Oh, I said Howard. Eddie Lee Wilkins. Just naming names of some obscure Knicks, man. Obscure Knicks. Who's the most obscure Knick that you can name? Michael Sweetney.
We had a Japanese player, I think, once, like a point guard.
Did we?
I think, or maybe was it the Suns? I thought the Knicks had one. That may be the Suns. My bad. You know what guy I actually like, who I thought we should have kept, but he went back to like Russia? Alexei Shved.
Yes, Alexei Shved. I thought he was all right.
He was coming on late in the season. He was hitting threes. I'm like, yo, hey.
Yeah, I thought he was all right.
And we didn't keep him.
Pastel. Oh my gosh, LeVar Postel.
Oh, LeVar Postel. Oh. Someone said Timothy Moskov. Timothy Moskov was actually solid for us.
He was actually a pretty good player.
He was actually decent for us. We traded him. Ronaldo Balkman.
Ronaldo Balkman.
And Jared Jeffries was stupid lips. Like, it's like, and he couldn't make the layup in that Celtics game when like Amari got hurt and Melo was getting triple team. It's like, bro, what the hell is wrong? He's trash. He's so I'm not talking about Jeremy Lin. I think it was a point guard from the Suns. I don't know for some reason. You know what it is? No, it was a Mongolian center that played for the Knicks.
We had a Mongolian center.
We had a Mongolian center who played for the Knicks. I'll look it up right now. Knicks. I remember. Asian centers. Oh yeah. I can't. He never played for the Knicks. What the? Who am I thinking of?
I don't know, man. But you know, I think I met. Look, check this out. So I remember I was in Utica, New York. Utica, New York is like half an hour or whatever from Syracuse, right? John Wallace played for Syracuse. And I swear to you, I don't know, because at the time I didn't know what he looked like, right? But I can't even think of when the year was. This super tall dude came to, the projects that I lived in, and he was like super tall. He was like, somebody told me that you're the guy to play around here. I was like, for real? Okay. And he bet me like $20 that he could beat me, spot me 20 points. Okay. Now I'm a little dude. I'm like probably 5'8", and this dude was like 6'11" or something like that.
And right? What was the game up to?
21. Spot me 20 points. Right. And so I'm playing, and I get one shot off. Every time I went up, he blocked everything. I get one shot off, and I missed it. Could have won $20 from the dude. And he beat me and went on about his way. I mean, he told me that he was in college and went to Syracuse, but I just don't. Later on, I was like, yo, that was probably John Wallace, but I don't know for sure.
John Wallace, man, that draft. I think it was 98 because it was Nash. Oh man, we couldn't get anything. I mean, it's not like we didn't. I don't think our picks were high enough, but no offense, we got John Wallace. The dude got traded the next year, bro. Like 96. I don't know. So yeah, Allen Iverson, Marcus Camby, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Stephen Marbury, Ray Allen. Oh, Antoine Walker before he got fat. Kobe Bryant. Paige Stojakovic, Steve Nash, Jermaine O'Neal.
Man, I don't know, man.
John Wallace. We could have also gotten Zydrunas Ilgauskas, but we probably would have screwed that up. Derek Fisher, he probably would have just screwed everybody's wife on the team. You know, he's a bum. Although Harrison was in that draft, but why would I even? Why would I go there? So,
yeah, man, I don't know, bro. We're in some dark times right now, but unlike some of these other dark times, we do actually have, like, our salary cap is pretty clean. You know, we have draft picks. We have at least two young guys that we can look at and say, okay, you know, these guys can really be some building blocks. So, it's not as dark as other times. It's dark, but it's not as dark as other times, man.
Well, but Sim, this is what I ask you. Is it dark if we go with the same regime next year? I think that if we went with a new regime, it'd be a lot brighter because I think guys like R.J. Barrett, and we were talking about this in the chat, that we feel like R.J. Barrett, the only detriment would be a bad front office, you know, a bad whatever around him that stunts his growth. You know what I mean? And R.J. Barrett, like I said, he could be a phenomenal player for us, man.
Yeah.
But if we do not have the proper front office in place, you know, these idiots. I'm sorry. I'm saying that.
If I'm James
the
Dolan, you know what I'm doing?
Are not endorsed by Sim or MBK.
Listen.
They're endorsed by me. These guys, Steve Mills, I won't say Perry as much, but Steve Mills, he's an idiot. And I don't trust him with draft picks. I don't trust him with money. I don't trust him with any basketball decisions. And I'm scared they're going to ruin guys like RJ and Mitch and Trier. Because this is 2 years in a row where you're basically stunning the growth of your younger players because you want to either tank or you either want to play certain players so they get, and this is my belief, that you play certain players because you want to build up their value to try to trade them off. When you realize this, by now, the only tradable asset really is Morris. These other guys are, I mean, Ellington, what are you going to get from him? Like a pack of peanut chews? Like, let's be honest. You're not getting much for Ellington, my dude. Maybe Portis, you might get a second rounder from 2002. But other than that, like all these other guys, bro, like come on. Like Trier sitting down. I just hope that's the case because it doesn't make sense that I see some of these younger guys. I'm not saying we're going to win a bunch of games, but they need to start building chemistry for next year. So by next year, we're not in the same place as we were this year or the year prior when we should have been building up the culture, building up the system, build the coaching and the discipline. You know what I mean? You said one thing tonight, Sim, about the suspensions, blah, blah. I wonder if Elfrid Payton, say Trier comes in and plays for him, right? Or Frank comes in and plays, his groin injury magically goes away, right? If those guys come in and the team starts playing better because of them, right? And you bring back Elfrid Payton, do you think that might ruin the morale of the team? Like, yo, this is some BS, especially if they know that Mike Miller's not doing, because, you know, coaches and some players, you know, they have a little relation. Maybe they might say things here and there to each other. Do you think that destroys the morale of the team?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I think anytime, you know, that happens like that, especially, you know, I think anytime that happens like that, especially in a situation like this with Elfrid Payton, you know, you figure, like something like this to me, really puts a player in a doghouse. That's just my opinion. Really puts a player in a doghouse. Gets suspended. I think he should be suspended. And then when other players, you know, step up and start playing now, you know, you put yourself in that situation, dude. You know, that's the way I feel about it. But look, if I'm James Dolan, I think what I do, you know, everyone, you know, people talk about Masai Ujiri and stuff like that. I think I give Jerry West anything that he wants to run my team.
Oh, easily.
Anything he wants, I give Jerry West. I go to Jerry West and say, anything you want, I'm giving you total autonomy of the team, and I'm giving you anything you want. I don't care what it is. Give me anything you want.
But you know what Jerry West likes those, right, Sim? That's what I respect about Jerry West. I'm not saying he ain't getting paid. He probably getting paid out the wazoo. But Jerry West likes competent owners. He likes owners that allow focus on the basketball things, and they do not touch what he's doing. That's why the Lakers screwed up when they got rid of him.
That's what I'm saying, though.
And the Clippers are letting him do his thing.
Right.
So the Knicks, if he comes, it can't be, hey, just give him a whole bunch of money and make no. It means Dolan, you got to show me, and I think that's what Dolan's doing. I'll give him some credit now that I think he's letting this buffoon show run its course, and he's not trying to put, because he even said in the ESPN article, hey, I didn't even pick Fizzo, I didn't pick the coach. He has to show that these real basketball people outside of the Knicks organization, because I don't think we have many of them, he has to show that, hey, I screwed up with the Melo trade in terms of meddling in and overriding Donnie Walsh, who was a made man in the NBA. He's one of the made men of the NBA in terms of these upper guys, they respect him. Like when they say, oh, your rapper's favorite rapper, your producer's favorite producer, that's what Donnie Walsh is. We may not know. The normal fans may not know, but those guys who know it, they know it. So Dolan has to stay out of it, and he has to prove that to Jerry West. Now, Jerry West, if he wins maybe like 1 or 2 championships, he's not leaving that situation now because he's giving so many draft picks and that stuff. He can't sell his name. He doesn't want to sell his name. Like, he's not one of those type of dudes. It doesn't seem like. So he's not leaving for the next 3-4 years at the very least. So are you going to wait for that to happen? But yeah, Jerry West, what? And he can come and revive the so-called Mecca and bring winning basketball. Man, hey.
Man, I'm just saying, I see Murdoch said he don't like when I start pipe dreaming. I'm just saying.
Hey, Murdoch, what do you want us to do? Come back to reality? It hurts.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Dream. I'm not pipe dreaming. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that he would come. I'm just saying if I'm James Dolan, I go to him and say, I'm giving you look, he's got a proven record of building. He did it with the Lakers, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Los Angeles Clippers.
Did Phil Jackson have a good relationship with Jerry West?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
That could ruin us.
But if I'm James Dolan, I say, I'm giving you whatever you want, and I'm stepping aside. I'm not doing anything. I'll be on tour.
Yep.
I'm giving everything to you, and you do what you do. You work what you work. That's what I would do. I would throw it at him. I would do whatever he wants. If you got to give up draft picks to get him,
somehow, because he'll force Jerry West to allow his band to like perform during halftime or something. He'll do something stupid. What's that stupid band they call James Dolan, the kill shots, or what are they called? The Slipknot?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not sure, but so corny. Well, man, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Cause
yeah, man, you've been on.
I've been on for a while. I've been on since like 7 o'clock. It's been like 5 hours. You know what I mean? So I'm about to get up out of this camp. Go get some rest.
And guys in the chat, hit the likes and support Sportscaster, man.
Yes, please.
We had a good stream tonight on Sportscaster, man. So support it, man. It was a watch along. It was fun. We talked.
Y'all missed it. We got into arguments and everything. Y'all missed it, man.
Tim muted me as usual when I'm making the points that destroy his. So just come if you want to see me destroy him.
Lying.
And he mutes me. Come to Sportscast to support it, so you can see Guillermo schooling Coach Sim as usual. So support Sportscaster. Thank you guys. Have a good night, guys. Let's wrap it up, Tim. Don't say anything after that, Tim. Just wrap it up.
Let me get these guys, man, and say. Oh, and listen, this Sunday, and I don't know. I'll find a way to send out some kind of a notification. I'll be covering the Albany Patroons. So if you're just a basketball fan, you're just a sports fan, check me out as I cover the Albany Patroons. And Guillermo is going to be helping cover some games too on Sportscaster, covering the Albany Patroons. So guys, check that out, man. It's going to be, and you'll be able to watch the game live. So it's not like we're just going to be talking about a bunch of players you don't see and don't know who they are. You'll be able to watch the game and then I'll be in the corner commentating the game and talking about the game. So make sure you come check that out, man. It should be fun. It'll be funny. Gambo's gonna do some of them. It should be real fun. All right. But Gambo, appreciate it, man. I'm gonna get these guys to say something real quick, and then I'm out of here. All right. Isaiah, I'm gonna come to you, man, since you just now joining us.
Hey, what's up, man? Sim?
What's good with you, bro?
Yeah, I'm sorry I came in late, man. I was just doing a couple running around.
All right.
Cool. I want to say this, though, Sim. This has nothing to do with the game, man, but it's something that you said a couple videos ago that really touched me, man. I want everybody to listen to this. You know the whole thing with Kobe and everything, man, and just appreciating people, man. I just want to say to you, Sim, I know we all joking and everything. I really appreciate you, man, because out of going having this stream and having this, I met some brothers for life. You know what I'm saying? Through this stream, I met Guillermo, I met Mark, I met Big Freezy, I even met Nate. Even with you, I met your son, met your daughter, I met your wife. And it was just. I got extended family now because of the stream, and I just want to tell you I'm really appreciative of that, man. Guillermo's really my brother now. That's really my boy. Mark's really my brother now. Big Freezy, that's my boy. Even, Tony Crow, that's my boy. Chester's my crazy grandfather, and Ron Cleveland's my uncle, and you my pop. So, I just appreciate, everybody on the chat. Even now, son, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all these dudes in here, man. And, I just want to give you your flowers right now, man, because you do a lot. I was there, I hanged with you, and I seen what you do. You busy man. You're a busy man. And, like I said, Guillermo, Mark, Big Freezy, Tony Crow, Mark, Nate, all you guys are my brothers. And I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? One day when I get married, I want all you guys to be there. And I'm going to need you to record and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
Well, all right. Well, we might stream that joint live on MBK. I don't know who's crazy enough to marry you, but if you find some nut job that's willing to do it,
I don't know who's going to do it, but someone's going to do it. But yeah. I just want to give you flowers, man. I just appreciate you, man. You guys are really my brothers. And I don't want to watch any other. I don't want to go through any other Knicks channel but y'all and go through this pain, because I know when we become good, it's going to be the greatest thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? So,
I feel you. I appreciate that, man.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate everybody on the chat, man. I appreciate everybody on the chat. Y'all my brothers and sisters, and I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate that, man. Definitely. I appreciate that. Big Freezy, give me 30 seconds, man. 30 seconds. Just take us out of here with 30 seconds, then I'm coming to Mark.
Yo, man, the Knicks are in for a rough week, man. We had a bad loss, and this mess is all over the news and stuff, man. Knicks fans, we in for a rough week, man. Just hang in there. Hopefully we can get through this trade deadline, man, and maybe there'll be some light at the end of the tunnel. That's all I got, man. I'm out of here.
All right, man. Appreciate it. And Mark, I don't know who Mark talking to. I don't know who you're talking to. So, but Mark, 30 seconds, man. Quick 30 seconds. Take us out.
I had a great night tonight with you guys. Another dub, another loss by this hopeless team.
Said another dub.
We have till Wednesday. Do you know what day? I hope it passed with nothing dumb happening. Other than that, let's continue to watch this product that's being sold on the street like we're crackheads and bear it, because it's like I'm mad, but I watch them and I just can't understand my brain that don't want to watch them, but I watch them. But
right.
You know why I watch them? Because I come on here and it's fun on here. You get away from the game you just saw, and you get happy, and you don't really dwell on the game. Now, if I don't come on here, I'll probably be in my bed dwelling on the game. But other than that, y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all on the next show.
All right, man.
Stay happy, please, for me.
No doubt. All right, man. Appreciate it, Mark. And ladies and gentlemen, before I get out of here, what I am going to do is I'm going to show this quick, about 3-minute video, of all of Knicks fans from the game on when we played the Brooklyn Nets, sharing their favorite moments of Kobe. And what I'm going to ask you to do, there's actually a video, this video, you can look at the video. I have the video on my channel, and it's all Knicks fans from the game sharing their favorite moments of Kobe Bryant. So, I want you guys to check this out, watch the video, and then go watch it again. All right, so we can get the views on it. All right, so check this out, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knicks fans sharing their greatest moments, the greatest Kobe Bryant moments. Check it out.
Sad, man. It really hurt me to hear that, Kobe was a great ball player, and he deserved all the respect that they would give him.
Yeah, definitely.
Rest in peace.
My favorite moment, besides the 61 he dropped on us, was the 03-04 season when he went 45, 9 to 11 games, he came to the Garden, and he had a particular move when he went baseline, and he did a reverse windmill, boom, on us. Look it up on YouTube, but that's my favorite Mamba moment. So rest in peace. I'm gonna miss him.
My favorite Kobe moment was when Kobe gave props to Melo and said he was one of the hardest players to ever guard. Melo's my favorite player. So
yo, I know he's gonna.
So
I know he's gonna say that.
Rest in peace, Mamba. We love you, man.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
It was Carmelo and Kobe. It was Kobe's retirement year. That was a real tough. That was a real when we won the game, and it was real good to see Carmelo and Kobe hug it out at the end of that. I'll never forget that moment for Kobe Bryant.
It was 2008 against the Nuggets. It was game 2 of the first round. Dude was going crazy, 48 points. That was when he was the Black Mamba, and then he started the tug in the jersey. Can't stop me. I was like, whoa.
I don't have one favorite Kobe moment. There's a video on YouTube of all of Kobe's game winners, and it's 15 minutes long, right? Kobe had the fortitude, the mettle, the courage to take that shot, make a miss. And that encompasses the type of player that he is. Right? There'll never be another one like him. Rest in peace to the God.
Also, his All-Star game versus Michael Jordan, that's where you saw him go up the next level, where Jordan kind of gave him the ball and said, listen, you're the next leader of the NBA.
My favorite Kobe moment got to be when the All-Star game, it was Jordan's last All-Star game, and the East was trying to make Jordan get it, and Kobe was like, nah, bump that. I'm taking this. I'm here now. That's my favorite, and he won MVP in that All-Star game too, so that got to be my favorite Kobe moment. Rest in peace, man.
I'm sad about Kobe and his daughter, man. That hit me hard. I couldn't even really enjoy the game how I wanted to because of that, so rest in peace to him and his family. Love to his family.
R.I.P. to Kobe. Real crazy.
He was a Renaissance man. He just didn't play basketball. He won an Oscar for making a movie. And it's a real loss for humanity, not just basketball.
It got to be his last game, son. How much he scored? 60? 60. We gave him 60. How you end your career like that, bro? 60? Come on, bro. He's the GOAT, man.